Welcome to a series of interviews that I recently conducted with an elder and a spiritual leader in our local community here in New Mexico. His name is Patricio Dominguez. Enjoy it. Now, I really do appreciate the concept of God. I don't know whether or not God is real or not, what happened 2,000 years ago, but I do know that having a sense of purpose makes me experience life in a better way, and then also giving back to folks and being appreciative, being thankful. All those things benefit my life physically, spiritually, mentally. My life has improved. Stress is easier to deal with under those circumstances. So the concept of God is pure to me. And you are not describing spirituality around a concept of God unless we're talking about, analogously, the Creator. And some people talk about us being one with the Creator, or, Jason Deviant, he describes humans as cells within the Creator's body, that we all sort of need each other in functional ways, and we could sometimes compete over resources, but we cannot separate ourselves from something bigger. What are your thoughts on God? And
First cause, which I'm going to use this phrase now instead of Creator. First cause is so huge, so complex, so beyond the capacity of the ordinary human mind that it is ignored. It is just absolutely ignored because it's just too much to perceive. But going back to the ghosts, if you see a ghost and you are not prepared to deal with it, you'll say, that was a weird hallucination, or that didn't really happen, or something to that effect. You will discard it. First cause, though, is evident in everything, because first cause is exactly that. First cause. There is nothing that did not originate and is imbued with the fingerprint of first cause.
okay.
Because it is the organizing factor for everything that is perceivable by the ordinary consciousness and everything that is beyond perception of the ordinary consciousness. As your consciousness expands, you will see that same order of things moves upward with your consciousness expansion. So you begin to realize, wait a minute, there is a format here. There's an equation that just continues. The fractal experiment explains it perfectly. Simple little equation. The first emanations of the fractal are cute, and then it gets really complex. But if you peek down at it, there's that imprint of the first germ of that fractal.
Okay.
And no matter how tremendous it gets, you can always say, "Hey, I see the fingerprint of the original equation." And so this is what's happening. People at some point stop chasing the magnitude of the fractal and start concentrating on the parts that they can see. Okay. Because it is beyond. It is even the enlightened mind will never ever fully cognize the first cause. It is not in the capacity of the electrochemical processes of a human brain to cognize first cause. All you will ever do is get more and more appreciation for its magnitude.
Now, God holds a very special place for folks that are dealing with the decisions of their life and whether or not to exploit other people, to take advantage of other people, to give, and how they choose to spend their time. In that it tends to result in benefits in their life. They're nicer to other people, and that in turn reciprocates on average in the way that we tend to live. So God is a source of good, and spirituality as a path can possibly be a source of good, which I've only conceived it as a source of good. I've never met anybody that was more enlightened that wanted to hurt other people. It seems like this path leads one to altruism. So is that safe to say that this path can sort of replace the complexities of this first cause in ways that still offer the same practical benefits for people that are dealing with the rights and the wrongs of the world?
We have just gone full circle. We started this conversation about the different worldviews of the intruding religion and the original religion of this land. What causes what you perceive as the evils of the world is that ability to put yourself in a space above. Because once you are in a space above, you can justify stuff. But if you do not get to that space, you can't justify anything, because you realize, hey, wait a minute, we're all in this together. Anything that I do anything I do to others or to anything else, I do to myself, because we are a oneness, a wholeness. So I don't dare do anything to damage the structure, because it's me that I'm damaging. But if I am above it, I can throw a rock into the pond and make waves. But if the pond and me are one and the rock are one, and no, I don't think I'm going to make waves. Those waves are going to come back and drown me. Metaphorically, because I'm not going there. But what makes what you describe as the negative possible is the separation from the wholeness. It's like you can't, when you are one with everything, you cannot do stuff that's disruptive to the whole. Just cannot. You just know better. You just know better. But when you are given authority over something, I can make that do whatever I want, because I'm the boss. Mm-hmm. I have authority over it. There was a weird experiment that was done by a university, a psychological experiment, where they took students and they made some of the students prison guards and they made some of the students prisoners, and they had to stop that experiment.
Yeah.
Because what happened was the prison guards, even though they were all student, prison guards got abusive.
Yeah.
They just got, why? Because they were given a special status. They lost their identity of being students with the other students. They were like, oh, where are the guards?
Yeah, no, we use it as an example of how not to hurt kids and our experiments and so forth. And I guess they were trying to use it to justify how people could express human evil or whatever. Well, you have been so generous with your time. I really do appreciate it. You're a wealth of information, and I imagine that we're going to be seeing a little bit more of you, God willing. Are there any parting words that you would like to just give out to as many folks as we could possibly reach?
I don't think there's anything left to say. In fact, I didn't even think there was anything to say in the first place. That's another thing that if you're in a special place, it's all, everything is fine. Everything is just the way it's supposed to be. This is the manifestation of first cause, and it is in perfect order. It is only when you can get down to like the little tidbits, you say, oh, that doesn't look like it's right, and you want to fix it. But if you really zoom out, it's the picture of the forest. You zoom out of the forest and you see this wonderful lush place. But if you zoom in too far, you see dead trees, you see dying animals, you see, and it's like, that doesn't seem right. You've got to fix that.
Well, I just kind of personally feel that we have potential that we're not experiencing, and there's so much suffering, and that is distracting folks, one, from being able to fully appreciate their life, and then also to give back to each other. Because like you, I do feel that we're all in this together.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to be of service. So I hope this helps.
It will. I hope you enjoyed this interview. I know that it was an incredibly interesting experience for me, and I hope that at least some of you shared some of that interest. As always, if you like videos like this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons, or consider becoming a patron for our channel, or a donor to the Medical Cannabis Research Fund, where we are fighting every single day to bring you objective, relevant information that you could use to make informed medical decisions, that you could use to maybe even expand your consciousness. We're doing it here. We're working for you at the Medical Cannabis Research Fund, because together we are changing the world.